We grow into what we were meant to be.
And what were we meant to be, Johnny?
Men.
Welcome to my review of Cobra Kai Season 4, Episode 2, First Learn Stand. I'm Ken Cole, and if you're a fan of Cobra Kai and the Karate Kid, you've come to the right place. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss anything from the Ken Cole Dojo, including Cobra Cole, a new comedy where I work for someone who might be Terry Silver and try to get help from my cousin, played by David Shatraw, Tom Cole on Cobra Kai. If you like Cobra Kai, you won't want to miss Cobra Cole, and you can check it out right now. Now, let's look at Episode 2, First Learn Stand. I'll start by giving an overview of the episode's storylines, then I'll give you my review. We start with a new character, a middle school student named Kenny, playing a game called Dungeon Lord. He's looking forward to his first day at his new school and dances while waiting for the bus. But other kids see him and laugh, including Anthony LaRusso and his friends, including this curly-haired guy named Zach Thompson, who I'm just going to call Curly from now on. Later on in gym class, Kenny has another run-in with Anthony and Curly, and Kenny rams a basketball into Anthony's head. Curly calls Anthony a pusso. Anthony then sees Kenny's interested in the same girl he is, Leah. Later, Kenny gets a call from his dad, who's in the army and deployed in the Middle East. His dad says Kenny's the man of the house, with his brother gone and mother working, and he retreats to playing Dungeon Lord, gets messaged by Leah, who isn't really Leah. It's Anthony and the Curly crew, pretending to be Leah, and they lure him into Balboa Park at night, while cosplaying as Dr. Scribblebottoms. Angry that they're filming, Kenny accidentally breaks Anthony's phone before Curly starts a beatdown of Kenny and calls Anthony a pusso again to try to pressure him into hitting Kenny. But Kenny escapes. Call back to Daniel trying to escape over the fence in Karate Kid 1. Then Kenny explains everything he's going through to his brother, Sean Payne, who Robbie knew from Juvie in Season 3. Meanwhile, across the valley, Amanda goes to see Tori at her job at a restaurant, threatens her to stay away from Sam. Tori gets pissed, she mouths off to a customer and gets fired. Oh, Amanda. Then in Cobra Kai class, Robbie teaches Miyagi's blocking system to his fellow Cobra Kai students, and Kreese makes the point that Miyagi-Do is reactive.
And we can use that to set traps.
Tori gets pissed and goes after Robbie before Kreese and Tori have a heart-to-heart about her losing her job, and Kreese offers advice. Later, Amanda has a cheese wedge run-in with Kreese. Amanda says she'll make sure Kreese loses in the tournament. But Kreese says,
I respect you defending your daughter.
He tells Amanda about Tori's home situation and to leave her alone. Amanda looks affected by this. Later, Tori shows up at LaRusso Auto angry that Amanda left her food and says that the fire is lit to take down Sam at the All-Valley tournament. Amanda obviously regrets all this stuff with Tori. Meanwhile, Daniel looks chipper as he gets his Japanese sanders ready to do some old-school sanding. But Johnny's already using an industrial sander. This kills Daniel's lesson plan, and he's upset, but Johnny asks if Daniel respects his style, and that
Respect's a two-way street.
they agree to teach each other their karate styles. First, Daniel has Johnny painting the house Miyagi style, and he's frustrated with boring old Miyagi-Do, but Daniel reminds him that Miyagi-Do saved him in Season 3 and Karate Kid 2, and Johnny's like, all right. Daniel teaches them about wax on, wax off, sand floor, focus, balance, and the best defense
is no be there.
Tomorrow you learn real man karate.
He takes Daniel blindfolded to an abandoned factory and makes the case for Eagle Fang, the real man's style of fighting. Daniel climbs chains, hits balls from the pitching machine, gets aggressive, and Daniel appears to master it. And just when training is about to end, Johnny takes Daniel to a hockey game to teach him about striking first and being tough. Johnny baits a player into getting pissed at Daniel, who tries to de-escalate, but it doesn't work. After the game, a whole group of hockey players confront Daniel. They make comments about Amanda. Daniel strikes first and beats them all up. Johnny, who stepped away for the fight, is pleased that Daniel passed his Eagle Fang lesson. That's the episode. Now here are my thoughts. This is the one episode from Season 4 that doesn't have Terry Silver. But even still, I really did enjoy this episode. We have a new character, Kenny, who's a fun, relatable kid, well played by Dallas Dupree Young. It's setting up a new cycle of Karate Kid bullying that some might think is repetitive, but for me, I like it because, after all, bullying is at the heart of the saga. And we have a new twist that Anthony LaRusso is the one hanging out with the bullies. And speaking of, I think Curly wins the prize for the most loathsome character in season 4, so I'll give actor Brock Duncan credit for doing his job. Is a stupidly accurate insult for a kid his age. But the episode does a nice job of making us sympathize with Kenny, and of course, it's a nice twist that he's Sean Payne's brother. Gotta love that last name. And speaking of Kenny, it's interesting that his father's also in the army, and it looks like he's been deployed to the Middle East, which continues the series' theme of characters being in the army. Mr. Miyagi was in the 442nd Infantry Regiment in World War II and was separated from his wife and child when they died in childbirth. Of course, John Kreese was in the army in Vietnam, an experience that defined his life and teaching style. And the other new character this season, Terry Silver, served with Kreese in the army. Sato from Karate Kid 2 trained U.S. Armed Forces for at least 40 years, and even Colonel Dugan from the next Karate Kid served in the army, possibly in Vietnam. So there seems to be a theme in this saga that the younger characters are dealing with the effects of an older generation's involvement with the military. Anthony, even though we didn't see him much in the past 2 seasons, was always aggressively bratty, so this seems like a natural continuation that he's fallen in with the wrong group of friends. While he does have anger issues and he's a bit of a hothead, he seems more hesitant to beat up on Kenny than his friends. Although it makes you wonder, if we saw Daniel as a kid with Curly as a friend, would he act the same way and bully other kids? Maybe. And it's something another character implies in a later episode. I didn't realize it at first, but this episode is missing all the other Miyagi-Do Eagle Fang kids. We briefly see Robbie at Cobra Kai, and more time is spent with Tory. I like how Kreese is looking out for Tory, and we can see that he's not completely merciless, and he even seems to respect Amanda as a mother and as someone who could help Tory. At this point in the series, it feels nice to have adversaries find some common ground. Though my favorite parts of this episode are the Daniel-Johnny sequences where they're gaining new respect and teaching their styles to each other. I get that the rivalry is the engine that's been driving the series so far, but given the events in the movies, it seems like Johnny has every reason to respect Daniel. And I'm glad that it's starting to pay off in this episode. I don't know about you, but I've been looking forward to when they'll finally work together. In fact, if you look closely, Johnny seems like he's quietly becoming Daniel's teacher, even in a Miyagi-esque way. While Daniel definitely offers knowledge and training, he's really just copying Mr. Miyagi's teachings and styles with a helping of righteousness. They're not lessons created by Daniel. But Johnny seems to know exactly who he is and what his karate means, and he's created his own ways to train, his own goals. Instead of reproducing techniques and tools like Daniel does with Miyagi's teachings, Johnny uses what he has around him. He found an abandoned factory and uses it. The coals, the chain, the pitching machine, and even the hockey game. He's able to improvise a lesson on the spot to teach Daniel. If you ask me, he's being more Miyagi-like than Daniel. And I think we all see the ways that Daniel could grow if he just admitted he doesn't know everything and he isn't always right. So all in all, a good episode, a breeze to watch, and it's over before you know it. And even though we don't get to see Terry Silver or most of the other students in this episode, it shows how many good characters there are in the show and how focusing on new characters and storylines keeps everything feeling fresh. So we'll see what happens in episode 3, and I'll have a review of that, so subscribe to make sure you don't miss any new videos, and let me know what you think of episode 2 in the comments. And be sure to check out my other videos, including Cobra Kai, which you can see right here. See you next time.